You're listening to Heroes in the Moment. What's up, heroes? I'm Michael.
And I'm Nathan.
And today we're back bringing you the weekly recap number 41.
We're back, baby.
Sorry, it's been a little bit of a while, but we had very busy schedules going into the 4th and then all this other stuff with the holiday and summer and just confronting schedules. But we're back better than ever, bringing you news, bringing you stuff, talking about different things that we've got. So
it just shows you guys how much we love you.
We do love you.
You know,
we care about
you. Two busy guys.
We love you.
Two busy schedules.
All right. We're going to start off today with some huge news that we didn't get to talk about. We posted on our Instagram, but we're going to talk about it because we just got to talk about it.
We got to.
And that's the DCU, and we got our first casting of the DCU officially, anyway, from James Gunn himself. That David Corenswet himself is going to be Superman.
That's huge.
That's great,
huge,
and it's a good casting.
Yeah,
I think,
great.
Personally, like if we're not getting Henry Cavill, we're going for a younger Superman. I think he's like 28, 29. And he's 6
Looks
foot
like he's
4.
a younger brother.
He does.
He's 6'4". Holy crap!
He's the tallest Superman. Besides, he's right there with Christopher Reeve.
Yeah,
same size, I think. Like both
6'4".
But yeah, I mean, he looks the part. He looks like Superman. So I mean, as long as he can act it well, I've never seen him in anything.
I haven't either. He's been in some smaller projects, but
this will definitely put his name on the map.
He's British, right?
I don't know.
British people are good actors. I feel like he has to be British.
I mean, everybody's got to be
I know
British,
everybody
right?
got to be British. Half the MCU is British.
That's
really.
true. I know.
You know,
I know that's hilarious. But he looks the part, so I'm all for it. We talked about it a couple weeks ago how we would have liked him. He would be our choice. So I'm glad that they're going through with it. As long as he's a good actor, then absolutely bring him on, and let's hope that he can bring this Superman to the next level for the new DCU. And along with that casting, we got Rachel, forgive me if I mispronounce her last name, Brosnahan? I don't know.
Brosnahan.
That's probably correct.
No, it's not. Probably. I haven't heard her name either.
And she will be Lois Lane.
Yeah.
She looked pretty good.
She looks really good.
She looks like she
really
has
good.
the reporter vibes,
yeah.
I think.
I think it's really interesting that that James Gunn kind of chose his people like based on the pairs. Like from my understanding, he had 3 different pairs of actors.
Well, David Corenswet was with a different pair.
I thought he was with Brosnahan.
She was not. He was not.
Really?
He was with somebody else.
Because I know they were screen testing those 3. Then maybe they were screen you're good. Let's put you with this person.
But that's why I think they probably was like, he's Superman, but I'm not feeling Lois Lane, but this girl is Lois Lane, so let's put them together.
And I like that emphasis on Lois Lane too. You know, he's not just choosing, the Lois Lane, for Superman. He's choosing for her, want to expand on her story, and then same for Superman.
Right. And I also love the idea that he's casting based off of, do they look like their character in the comics?
Yeah.
Do they fit the vibe of the character in the comics? And they're not just choosing like your Amy Adams to play, this role or bigger, more.
They just grab
actors.
a bigger actress.
They grab smaller actors that they feel can portray the roles really well and look the part.
Yeah.
And now, obviously, after we see this movie, their names will go way up in the list. So
they'll be huge.
Exciting. Oh yeah, they'll be big. So
I like the emphasis on chemistry. I think it's really cool.
I agree.
But,
shout
out James Gunn, man. I didn't think I'd see this initially, but he's off to a good start.
It is a good casting. And I feel like our next casting that we'll get will be Lex Luthor. And there's been a couple in the runs. We talked about Nicholas Hoult a couple weeks ago, but apparently he was actually auditioning more for Superman, so he didn't get that. So I don't know if they're going to give him Lex Luthor.
I have a hard time seeing him as Superman.
I do too. I don't see him that. But now in the running for Lex Luthor, this is an interesting one, is Matt Smith is apparently in the running.
Matt Smith. My favorite character from Morbius.
The dancing scene.
The dance scene, bro.
But no,
that scene is engraved into my mind until I die.
Horrifying. All right. Anyway, I rember looking at you during that scene. I'll never forget it. We were just
are we for real?
I know,
it's just
exactly
a real scene
thought process. It's like, what the heck are we watching? And then him hissing at himself. I was like, I'm done. But Matt Smith is apparently in the running for Lex Luthor. What do you think about that?
I mean, first of all, I'm trying to imagine him without hair, right? I mean, he has like very beady eyes,
yes,
a sharper nose. He's really tall and skinny. I don't feel like he looks like Lex Luthor. Then again, I don't know if Nicholas Hoult looks like more like a Lex Luthor, but I mean, the man's a fire actor. He was in House of the Dragon. Dude's phenomenal, and he has a good track record. But I don't know. Aside from Morbius.
But I mean, he acted good.
Yeah, he acted fine. He had nothing to work with. Yeah. The script and dialogue was pretty bad.
If they give him Lex Luthor, I wouldn't be mad at it. I mean, and
that's
then
interesting, Matt Smith.
It is interesting. And there's another one that I can't remember who it was. It was a pretty not a big name, but I think it was the brother of a big name.
Okay.
That was in the running for Lex Luthor.
Liam Hemsworth.
No, Liam Hemsworth. That'd be
It'll be the Witcher and.
It's the other brother. It's the other Hemsworth.
The other Hemsworth.
Whoever his name is.
Have another one?
Yeah, there is another one. There's 3 brothers. But I don't know who the other one is.
I don't know who
Sorry,
it
other
is.
Hemsworth. I don't know you. I know Chris.
Yeah.
I love you, Chris.
I didn't know Chris until Thor.
I don't think I did either.
I think that's what put him on.
I didn't know Lim till Hunger Games, so I mean.
Yeah, I didn't either. I didn't even know they were brothers until a couple of years ago. I'm like, this is a crazy coincidence. They got the same last name.
It's crazy, bro.
Crazy.
Woody Harrelson actually did not know that in an interview. They actually interviewed him. That was so funny. He was like,
he's like looking back and forth, like, bro, what?
It's like, you two are brothers? No way.
He's hilarious,
It's
dude.
so fun. I love that guy.
I love Woody Harrelson.
All right, next up for news is this is rather interesting. Is apparently James Gunn and other DC executives are talking with Tom Cruise for a role in the DCU.
Oh, dude, that'd be hype.
It's interesting. Though.
Oh, yeah,
Who would he play?
It's really. Listen, man, I couldn't tell you. Honestly, dude, I'm thinking like.
I mean, he's older, so he can't be
Yeah.
like Green Lantern.
I was literally about to say an old Green Lantern. Like. Well,
But it could be Hal Jordan, though.
I don't know. Think about like Tom Cruise and the movies he does. Like the movies he make, they're phenomenal and they require a lot of stunt work and a lot of big. Like think about the Mission Impossible movies. Think about Top Gun Maverick. I mean, he's jumping out of planes. He's flying fighter jets. I mean,
huge.
like, dude, imagine like that kind of scale with a superhero movie.
That'd be pretty epic.
I've been watching all the Mission Impossibles and it's really growing on me. But dude, I don't know. I don't know, dude. What role could he play?
Well, I'm thinking back to the 80s Top Gun movie. Like, that version of Tom Cruise there would have been the perfect Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
Lantern. Perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
But now,
cocky.
he's older. We already know about the Lanterns project coming out with Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan working together as kind of a detective kind of show. I would assume they'd be younger and not Tom Cruise's age.
Yeah, he's 60.
And I wouldn't
which
imagine
is
him
wild.
doing a Max show either.
Yeah, no, I do think he'd be very limited. I would say probably 1 movie, maybe 2 at the most. It wouldn't be a huge role. I think he could go for someone, like a C-list character and really just like, all right, go crazy.
Maybe he'll be the DCU's Dr. Fate or something like that.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a possibility. I don't know.
I don't think it will be a villain, but whatever it is.
He can't be a villain.
Yeah,
I don't see him playing a villain.
I know Tom Cruise is not going to sign on unless he knows, all right, I can do this, this, and this.
Right.
I'm permitted to do this. Like, this is what I want to do with it. Because he's just that big.
He's huge.
He's massive.
Right. So I don't know. I mean, this could be just complete rumor and be false, but it's just, I don't see Tom Cruise being willing to go to DC after, turning down the role of Iron Man and everything else. But who knows? Maybe he will, but we'll see with that. James Gunn, do what you need to do. But this one is what you should do. And being that Jensen Ackles has already set out and claimed that he would love to be Batman for the DCU.
Bro.
So James Gunn, make him Batman.
Please, dude.
Literally. He's the best choice.
He's already voice acted him like 3 or 4 projects.
Yes, he did. Yep.
He has a look. I think he's mid to late 40s.
He's
so
the perfect age
throw
for
him
Brave
in.
and Bold.
For Brave and Bold. Yeah, he's perfect. I mean, dude's massively in shape. Dude, I really do have a man crush on Jensen Ackles from watching all 15 seasons of Supernatural in a couple like summers and then watching The Boys. Like, dude, he's phenomenal. He has the acting chops, and he wants to do it. I think there's a lot of fan support in this.
I do too. But the only thing is, I feel like James Gunn, I mean, he might consider him, but he'll look at all the options. He'll look at who's Batman. Then he'll also look, how can I differentiate my Batman from Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves' universe of Batman.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of factors to go into this because Robert Pattinson right now is Batman and he's a great Batman at that. So it's really going to be a tough scale to get a Batman as good as as Pattinson. So I don't know if they will.
At least like he doesn't have to. I feel like live up to the expectation of the same universe. Like, obviously they know that Pattinson's a different universe, but still fans are going to draw those comparisons. As always, they always say, this Batman's going to suck. He's not better than this person. And then they come along, oh, they're great. Maybe they are just as good. So I don't know. Looking at how he, casted Superman and Lois Lane, I would not be surprised if he went with somebody
that has the
new,
look and has I would see that
like
too.
Just dipping their toes.
And that's the thing about James Gunn with this. I mean, I love the idea of having the Batman in its own separate universe, but I feel like in the long run, it's going to hurt James Gunn because more people are going to look at the Batman universe and be like, "That's my DC universe because it's Batman. I want Batman, and forget the new DC."
And that's that's the biggest pull, especially when for the first phase of James Gunn's new DCU, he's focusing on some smaller projects, like Creature Commandos and such.
Right.
You know,
it's gonna be hard.
We want Superman and Batman, pretty much. You know, Justice League stuff.
We want what we didn't get originally.
Yeah.
And I hope he provides that, but we'll see.
What we want is a Ben Affleck solo Batman movie.
Maybe an Elseworlds project. We'll have to wait and see. I doubt he'll ever come back.
Yeah, I don't think he will.
Come to us. We'll write you a story. All right. Next up, we got to talk about the MCU. Moving on to here, and a couple things with Fantastic Four drama. So I fully believe that Adam Driver, Margot Robbie, Daveed Diggs, and Paul Mescal were going to be the Fantastic Four. I fully 100% believe that. After everything I've heard, I fully 100% that was the cast.
Yeah.
But now reports have come back from the studio saying they could not afford to do both Adam Driver and Margot Robbie for the roles of Reed of Sue Storm. I still think Daveed Diggs will be the thing. I don't know for sure about Paul Mescal yet, but I also heard like Joseph Quinn's in the running for maybe Human Torch. That's a possibility. I think he would do well.
Yeah, he'd do well.
But it seems like Adam Driver and Margot Robbie might have stepped away from the project. And now they're looking at a new rumor that Vanessa Kirby is going to step into the role of Invisible Woman.
She looks good.
She does fit the role.
She fits it for sure.
She fits it. So, I mean, I like Margot Robbie, but I didn't like Adam Driver in that role. So I'm okay with that. But then again, it could be that one of the others is going to stay and the other one just can't. Or I don't know.
To be honest, I do think that both of them will step out.
You think?
I mean, like if you look at everyone they cast, at least in the beginning of the franchise, for the big, huge names, relatively they're all kind of nobodies now.
Right.
With Tom Hiddleston and Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, and then RDJ. He's making his comeback, right? So I mean, it was cheap. They were getting paid like $500,000-$600,000 for a movie. You put two A-list actors from the Fantastic Four in Driver and Robbie, and bro, you're shelling out probably like $10-15 million a piece for both of them.
That's
so
a lot.
I kind of see it as I heard first that Adam Driver kind of backed out. Then I do think that Margot Robbie would be a lot less inclined to do it if Driver wasn't there.
Right.
I don't feel like you'd want like one vet with a bunch of younger guys. So I'm not surprised, but I don't think this is bad news by
I don't think
it's
bad news. I don't think it's necessarily good news either. I think it's just news. but
just news.
It's just news. But I mean, we'll just have to see. I do hope that they start Kevin Feige and the rest of the team re-advances and they really say, okay, who looks the most Reed? Who can play Reed? More than just getting Adam Driver, who I don't think looks it and I don't think could do it.
Yeah.
Which he's a great actor. I just don't see him in that role.
Yeah.
And that could take you away. But we'll have to wait and see. I still do think, like I said, Daveed Diggs will be the thing.
Yeah.
And Paul Mescal will probably be Human Torch.
Human Torch.
And I think those two are great. And keep those two and then just maybe switch it up with the other casting and we'll have to wait and see for that.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got some Jonathan Majors updates. You wanna highlight us with those?
Yeah, man. Let me pull up what I sent you on the old Instagram. Anyway, listen, this story is just... Dude, it's just unfolding and unfolding, and I did not think that it would have this many twists and turns. Let me
As
see.
they all do.
Where is Michael? Here's Michael.
Me.
Wait, it's loading.
Yeah, but Jonathan Majors, I mean, he's went through it. I mean, he's had a time and stuff, and I mean, you still don't know if he's guilty or not guilty yet. But some new evidence has come up about the things with his ex-girlfriend, I would imagine. So
I got it. So first of all, earlier in the week, it was reported by, I don't know how credible the source is, but apparently she has a long history of abusing girlfriends and then also being violent on sets. So apparently there's multiple women coming forth, kind of inspired by the last woman. We don't know if it's true or not yet, but apparently if it is, bro, we are definitely looking at a recast.
At a recast of Kane.
Yeah, because they're saying, long history. We don't know if it's true yet, innocent until proven guilty. and then I found this part to be really funny though. But Jonathan Majors' lawyer in court, well, maybe not in court, but he released a new statement and he said that the reasons for his abuse or these allegations of abuse were from method acting. So.
I mean, he's going method. He's really portraying Kang.
Your Honor, when my client abused his then girlfriend, he was in the role of Kang.
He was in the mindset of Kang.
He was filming Creed.
He was thinking he was going to fight Michael B. Jordan, not his girlfriend.
Is that... Sir, you really telling me that? That's why he squared her straight in the jaw.
And then Jonathan Majors up there.
He's working on his game. He's method acting.
He's method. It's method acting. It's crucial. I mean, it's like, Joker, man. I mean, you just go
and blow up a bit.
whoa. But yeah, but also
I've never seen that.
But also, the original girlfriend that came out and talked about the abuse was arrested recently.
Yeah, she was arrested recently.
So that helps his case.
I know
too.
that definitely is huge. Without that, I think he might have already, been put away.
Right.
But the fact that the very first accuser has been kind of arrested, for I think it was false claims or something like that. Yeah. I'm not sure, but that's good news for him at least. But this other stuff isn't. So I don't know. I do think it's very possible.
More updates, but
like,
it's very
does
possible.
Not like drama with their actors.
No, it does not. I mean, they never usually do. This is like Warner Brothers area.
Yeah, this is definitely Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers like, oh, bro, you've been arrested twice. You're all right.
But then again, though, like it makes me mad that they would drop Johnny Depp without.
Dude.
I just want to punch him.
I know, and it's essentially the same thing. It was just Amber Heard accusing him of abuse and mistreatment, and then it's like, bam, we can't work with you.
That's really weird too. It's like, why wouldn't they have just dropped Jonathan Majors right off the bat, like they did with Johnny Depp?
Or maybe like I think personally. Maybe they saw Johnny Depp and they decided to change. So yes, it's worked badly in this sense, but like they're like, okay, we can't just drop somebody off of one because we've seen, what happened with Johnny Depp, how everybody supported him and how he won't come back. So maybe we'll try it, give the benefit of a doubt to our people and see what happens. But then, if they're in the wrong, they're the bad guy for holding on to them for too long.
Yeah, so it's hard thing to do. I wouldn't want to be in their position.
I would not either.
Should have just kept Johnny Depp originally.
I know. Johnny Depp is king.
Yeah. No. Johnny Depp, you are my Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh, dude, those movies are good.
They're so good.
He's so good in that role.
So great. He should have won that Oscar.
I know.
Originally. All right, next up, we got some Deadpool 3 plot rumors, which is wild. This is pretty neat.
Plot rumors.
So our first plot rumors, which Deadpool 3 got moved up, we remember. It'll be
like 6 months.
Yeah, it moved up to May of 2024, so I'm excited.
Less than a year now.
So the new plot rumors include that the Scarlet Witch, Wanda, will be involved in this movie, and that's saying that after the events of Multiverse Madness, she actually did die, but before she died, she did what do you call it, the mind walk or whatever, and she transferred her mind back to the Earth 38 Wanda. Took that Wanda back over, and apparently it's going to be an event. I don't know how pivotal this will be to the movie. It could be very small and just like a cameo or something like that. And lead up to another movie. But apparently this Wanda, apparently on Earth 838, after the Illuminati was killed by Wanda, that Ian McDermott's Magneto rose to take over kind of the Illuminati's place.
What?
And this is going to be like a House of M scenario.
No way.
With Wanda and McDermott's Magneto.
No way.
Dude, I
with
like
her
that.
mind controlling the body.
And we're going to get like a House of M scenario.
No way.
There. Yeah. I think that's kind of
sick.
That's
wild.
And I also heard some other stuff about Deadpool 3 being that this is going to be kind of the end game of the Fox X-Men universe. It's going to conclude all those stories. It is still a Deadpool solo film with Wolverine right there with him. Yeah. But they're going to conclude those stories to bring it in, his Deadpool into the MCU. So
that's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot. This movie is going to be crazy. I'm just saying it's going to be huge. It's going to make $1 billion easily.
Easily.
Man. Even though it's going to be rated R, it's still making $1 billion.
I know, dude, it is. It's going to be ill past Joker for highest grossing R-rated film.
Oh, for sure. That's got to.
I'm a little confused on why they would make the decision to kill her. In that sense, like what happens when she stops, mind controlling
that's just what I heard. It could be wrong. It could not be, but we saw the red glow, and the red glow could have been just her changing her consciousness. So, she'd still be alive, her mind, but her body, her original body from the Earth, 19999 whatever, would be dead. But we'll have to wait and see. Maybe this is true. Maybe this is not. But it's still interesting. I love the idea of an Ian McDermott's Magneto House of M scenario.
That'd be so
That sounds so awesome to
That'd
me.
That'd be dope, dude.
We'll have to wait and see. But I would like to see that in like a Wanda solo film. For me.
I know, dude.
But we'll see.
She really deserves it,
She does.
She's been with Marvel for almost 10 years
and
now.
she deserves it. She's huge. She's massive.
Everybody loves her.
I love her so much.
Yeah.
Gotta love the Scarlet Witch, man. WandaVision.
Elizabeth.
WandaVision. All right, next up, we're going to talk a little bit about Secret Invasion. So we're going to do something new. Nathan has not seen any of the Secret Invasion episodes.
I haven't watched
at all. So what we're going to do
them.
is he's going to step out. I'm going to give a little bit of a recap breakdown for you guys on here that you've watched it.
Peace.
And he's going to come back and we'll discuss some more stuff. Because he's going to come back and talk about binging the show. So this is interesting. It's nice just me and you for the first time, but I do miss Nathan. I would love to talk about this with him because it's so epic. So Secret Invasion, episodes 1 through 3. What an incredible show so far. I just must say it's halfway done. But the show so far is very good. It's darker. It has some gory elements. It's action packed, but it's also drama. It brings in a lot of those elements. It's definitely serious, given those Winter Soldier vibes, and I love it so far. Gravik as the villain, I must say, I love his character. I think is really cool. I would love the reveal of him and Nick Fury. There's something else going on there. Is he Nick Fury's son? Is he Nick Fury's stepson? What's going on with that in that way? But he is an incredible villain, and apparently he is getting a Super Skrull upgrade because we saw that they're using the Extremis, which they're kind of using that as the Human Torch is element, because if you don't know in the comics, Super Skrull has the abilities of all 4 members of the Fantastic Four. So they got the Extremis, which will be the fire, Groot, which takes place of Mr. Fantastic's ability to stretch, and then they have like the ice powers, which from like the ice giants or whatever, or frost giants, and then they had one other. So that will be interesting to see how that translates. And then, but Nick Fury also, he's killing it in this role. Rest in peace, Maria Hill. I'm trying to be quiet so he doesn't hear me, but he's in the other room. So Maria Hill, what a loss. In the very first episode, I'm still not positive that she's dead, but what a start that was. And it made me emotional too, because I was like, she's such a big character from the first Avengers. So I hated to lose her, but we love the fact that they really started off with a big bang and they're willing to kill people off. And also in the very end of the third episode, Gaia, played by Emilia Clarke, was apparently killed. I don't believe that she was dead, but it'd be really weird and really bad decision of them to bring her for just 3 episodes and then kill her off. I think that would be a very negative reaction. But also Ben Mendelsohn as Talos is killing it in this role. So far, everything has really just been very action drama. And then also Agent Ross, do you think it was a Skrull for how long, we don't know. Also, I think Rhodey, War Machine, is a Skrull 100%. He's got to be. And the only thing that I'm not liking about the show is I wish it was bigger in scale, and I wish it had more to it, like the Avengers involvement. But they did explain it well how the Avengers are not involved, because if they infiltrate the Avengers, and that's just, they'll never trust and all this stuff. Nick Fury doesn't want to get them involved because they don't want to get them infiltrated and all this stuff. It makes sense, but I would have loved to this be bigger in scale like it was in the comics and the Earth's Mightiest Heroes cartoon. But overall, I'm really enjoying the show so far, and I'll recap you a little bit more in depth for episode 4 next week since I have more time, but since I'm doing a really quick episodes 1 through 3. But so far, I'm really loving the show, and I'm really excited to watch it. Like I said, Nathan's going to binge it. I'm going to watch it week by week, and then we're going to review the series as a whole. So tune in for that. So I'm going to holler at him back now. Yo, Nathan!
What did I miss?
What's up? Man, you missed all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of
all kinds of great stuff. I tried to go fast through 3 episodes, but it's crazy. And I will say, I think you'll really like the show.
I do think I will enjoy it.
It's so good. And I do think so. Without spoiling anything, there is a lot of blood. Okay. You're welcome.
Yes. Yeah. I'm glad they finally make it realistic. It's like in Star Wars, bro, with lightsabers. Yeah. And they're like, here's no blood. Well, I guess it cauterizes the wound. But yeah. It's like, man, I want to see people like cut in half with a lightsaber.
You see some stuff in the show.
Like you play like, it's so good. What's the game with Cal Kestis' character?
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, like you're just smacking people like with a baseball bat. You're like, I want to cut these fools in half. Know.
That's the only thing, is they just make it to where the damage and make it harder. But I know. Still, it's kind of stupid.
I see. All
right, next up, speaking of that, we're going to talk about one piece of Star Wars news. It's not really news, but it's kind of a report that we got that was going to happen but didn't happen. Yeah. And that being James Mangold originally was set to direct a Boba Fett film that was originally going to be R-rated spaghetti western. What do you think about that?
I do think that would have done a lot better. I think we're just saying a lot on Disney Plus than the show. I mean, dude, I really don't know if you could get worse than the Boba Fett show. I do think like it didn't need an R rating, but I do think it wouldn't have hurt it too bad in terms of the character, right? Maybe in terms of people who watch it, but as far as the character, I mean, like, he's a bounty hunter, dude. Like, he shouldn't have that many morals. Like, he is paid to go kill people, kill people, whatever. So doing that kind of in the Western space, I think would have worked perfectly fine.
I agree. I think it would have been awesome in the Western area and going to that, but I agree with you also that it did not need that R rating. Yeah. Boba Fett's not an R-rated character anyway. Yeah. And I think PG-13 would have suited it just fine. I think and Star Wars is not really an R-rated element franchise, and at all. The only way I would be okay in condoning an R-rated Star Wars project would be an R-rated Darth Vader movie taking place about him slaughtering the Jedi. That's the only piece that I would be down for. But Other than that, no. But James Mangold, I mean, he has a proven track record. He's very great. I love it. Logan, incredible. The Wolverine, pretty good. And then even, I mean, a lot of people, there's controversy and stuff, may or may not like the new Indiana Jones Dial Destiny, but I personally really enjoyed it. I watched it last week on the opening weekend. I personally really enjoyed it, and I think he did a pretty good job with what he had. It's not the best Indiana Jones film for sure, but I think he did a pretty good job. But I would have liked to have seen him do a Star Wars movie, maybe. Well, he is now. He is doing one, but we'll have to wait and see what he does with the one he's given. I think he's doing the one about the oldest Jedi, right? I think that's the one. So that's going to be exciting to see that. All right, next up, we got some Sony-Marvel news, and this is good news, pretty good news. I would say it's good news.
Relatively
and that being
speaking.
Bad Bunny, I still don't understand.
Dude,
exited, thank you, El Muerto film, and to me, just cancel the movie. I mean, at this point, like, why? I
don't even know. I still don't know who El Muerto is.
He's like a Z-list character. Like Spider-Man villain.
I mean, I will say, like, Bad Bunny's not a terrible actor. I watched Bullet Train a couple times in theaters, and he does a pretty good job in there. But it's like, you're literally just getting him because he's a huge name for a guy that nobody knows about.
Yeah.
You know, like, why wouldn't you get a more popular character and then cast someone relatively new and give him a chance like James Gunn is doing? I really do hope they cancel this film.
I do. I mean, there's just no need for it.
Like,
Nobody
cut your
wants
losses.
it. Nobody asked for it. It's just, I mean, Morbius I get because it's a bigger character. You had Jared Leto there, and it's you know, I understand. Even though it still shouldn't have come out, I understand. But El Muerto, nobody knows who that is.
I know.
Bad Bunny in that role. Not a lot of people like Bad Bunny. You're just not gonna. It's just not a good move.
And plus, man, Michael, I feel like there's a big trend in superhero movies where it's taken more and more and more for them to actually like make a profit at the box office. You know,
for
like
sure.
I mean, they cost $200-300 million to make, and you know these movies, whether it's due to controversy like Ezra Miller's or whether it's because of the character is relatively unknown. Like Marvel really nailed it. You know, in the first like 3-4 phases. Recently, they've had a little bit of dip, but it's, you know, they're still doing pretty well, but I don't know, bro. It's just like they have to do everything perfectly right. Your build up to these characters, your introduction, your advertising, everything has to be done perfectly to actually, you know, I mean, we're watching Flash. Like, I personally feel like Flash shouldn't be losing so much money. I did actually really enjoy the film. I didn't think it was bad, and I didn't personally let the controversy stop me from watching it. But I don't know, man. I think they just need to take a page from these other studios who are losing so much money. Like, okay, here's what we don't do.
I think what they should do, and this is what they should do a long time ago in 2018 when they released Into the Spider-Verse, is to put all of their efforts into the animated Sony Spider-Man universe. Forget about Bad Bunny. Forget about El Muerto. Forget about the Venom franchise. Forget about, you know, Craven, whatever. Focus on Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, Beyond the Spider-Verse, and work off spinoffs off there with the same kind of production. I mean, like the Punk Spider-Man, or like a spinoff there, or a Spider-Gwen film. Something along those nature, I think would do so much better and would be better for them.
And then obviously, you know, those movies take 4 or 5 years to make, so the gaps would be huge. But as we've seen, like, the quality is top notch. You know, with Across and then, you know, Into the Spider-Verse, those movies are phenomenal. So I don't know why you would kind of deviate from that by just giving us bland live action. Yeah, like, stop, man, just stop with the whole anti-hero kind of edge.
Right, we don't like it.
We don't like to see it. I mean,
if you want to do a full-fledged villain film, and it's a villain film, like, we're seeing a different perspective, but we know down in the earth that's not an anti-hero, it's a villain. Yeah, give me that, but don't give me this crap about Venom, you know, wanting to save lives, and Craven the Hunter just killing, you know, the bad guys off his list, copying Green Arrow, and all this other crap. Don't give me that. You know, give me a full-fledged villain arc.
Yeah, like when I think anti-hero, dude, I think like Walter White. You know, I think Tony Soprano. I think like well fleshed out characters.
Catwoman,
good. Yeah,
I mean, Catwoman's also. I mean, she's an anti-hero, but Riddler is a villain. You know, show that.
Stop trying to make Riddler great.
I know.
Which I really liked him in Gotham, man. My wife is watching through it right now.
He's still the villain.
Yeah, so I know exactly. They kind of take almost every villain and give him a little good side.
They do. They do, but
I can forgive it. I like the show.
Yes, that's for sure. All right, now we got to take my Matt Reeves Batman helmet.
Matt Reeves Batman helmet,
and we're gonna do 3 rounds of our see who's most likely to win in the fight.
Okay, all right. I'm pulling one. Getting this bracket all sorted out.
All right, let's see here.
Oh baby.
All right, let's see what I've got here. Okay, all right, you want to go yours?
I got Beast Boy.
Okay, I've got Hawkman.
Ooh.
This is an interesting fight.
Beast Boy could turn to a hawk man.
Well, he could turn into a hawk, or he could turn into a bear, or any animal at his provision. Hawkman, though, I mean, I think of the best shown Hawkeye or Hawkman was in Black Adam. He's got the super strength.
He's pretty cool. He's
got the fight. He's got the hammer.
He's got the hammer.
Only thing is, like, if Beast Boy was to turn into a tiger, still Hawkman would just fly.
Yeah.
And I mean, if he was turning into an eagle or something, I mean, he would just hit the eagle.
I mean, I do think this is situational. You know, say they were fighting in or above water. I mean, if it can turn to like a megalodon, it could eat him, obviously. Or I'm trying to think what land animals he could turn into to beat Hawkman. Like what even could stop it?
A gorilla?
Nah, a gorilla wouldn't stop it.
You don't think a gorilla would?
Maybe like a hippo would have a fighting chance.
I don't know.
I don't know, dude.
I don't know if he'd use his hippo ability well. I think it's a very tough one because this is a good one. This would be a good fight, I think. But I think ultimately, Beast Boy's also he's immature. Yeah, he's not smart. He's not calculated.
If he was a mature adult, you know, maybe trained by Batman, who would have how his like use his creativity. Right. It's like similar, you know, to the Green Lanterns. Like his limit is his creativity in this fight.
Exactly.
You know.
But him being immature and not really knowledgeable, and Hawkman being pretty mature and having thousands of years experience, I think Hawkman.
I do agree. Obviously, it'd be a different case if I feel like they're the same age. But like I said, it's like ultimately what animal could hurt, you know, Hawkman.
Exactly.
At that level. So.
Exactly. So we'll have to see what
that. Like a poison spider or something.
That's true.
Oh, stick attack.
All right. Got one there.
Okay. Go ahead, Michael. Go ahead.
All right. I have the Scarlet Witch.
I got She-Hulk.
Okay.
I mean, this is pretty.
She-Hulk's getting bodied.
Especially after the worst show of all time.
The show had a great first episode, went downhill from there.
Yeah, they're like, by the way, here's a decent episode.
I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, She-Hulk, that first episode was really good. And then they just failed.
After watching that, dude, I had just so much anger built up towards this. I'm like, why would you put this out, man?
I know. But then WandaVision, on the other hand, was really good.
And WandaVision that's still my favorite.
I love that show so much. Project. So Scarlet Witch is absolutely bodied She-Hulk. There's no shot.
She-Hulk really versus anybody else would win, but sorry, it's Scarlet Witch we're talking about.
No, there's no shot. Yeah,
no shot.
All right, next up, last round for this one.
Okay.
All right, you go ahead and go first there, Nathan.
I have Hawkeye.
Okay. I have Blue Beetle.
So
this is an interesting fight.
Ooh, what version of Blue Beetle? Is there only one version?
There's only the one version.
The young.
Well, it would be the. Yeah.
Also, that movie is not going to turn a profit at the box office.
It's not.
I'm calling it right now. They're going to. Dude, I feel bad for Warner Brothers. Like they're trying new things, but it's like everything they're doing recently is crappy. Except hopefully for Barbie. I think Barbie's do really well.
But Blue Beetle versus Hawkeye. This is an interesting fight. I mean, if Hawkeye he gets some distance, he would have to have the distance. And to shoot him, I mean, obviously he wouldn't miss. But then again, he's got the shielded armor. He's got the ability to, fight with his armor and the blasters.
I don't know, dude. Blue Beetle really has everything on his side.
He does.
The only thing preventing Hawkeye from winning, I think, is just his armor. Because, I mean, Hawkeye is OP. You take someone who can't miss, you just shoot somebody's eyes out.
True.
You could put him against a giant and he would win because he could just shoot his eyes out.
Right.
Put him against Thanos, he'd shoot his eyes out. I don't know. Go for the eyes. They got no protective coverings there.
But Blue Beetle, I mean, the only other thing also on Hawkeye's side is Hawkeye's older. He's calculated his experience.
Yeah.
Blue Beetle's younger. He's not as experienced. But then again, he's got that armor. So I think Blue Beetle ultimately wins.
I really do think Hawkeye could, if they're doing like a best of 5, could win at least 2, though.
You think so?
Well, like, bro, every time he was with the Avengers, they won.
That's true.
Like, he's experienced. Bro, he went toe-to-toe for Vision. Well, for like 5 seconds. Vision wasn't really trying. But Hawkeye is definitely the most slept-on Avenger.
He's very he's great.
I feel like he's one of my favorites for sure.
All right. So that concludes our roundup recap. So Blue Beetle stomped Hawkeye, apparently. And then we had Scarlet Witch killing She-Hulk.
Rip.
And then finally we had... Who do we have? I forgot already.
Hawkman
and Beast Boy. And Hawkman, unfortunately, beat Beast Boy. So we got that there.
Smacked him.
That's right. So thank y'all very much.
All right, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, let us know by giving us a review and a download. Our podcast, Here's in the Moment, is available on all major podcast platforms. So check it out. We have a ton of episodes out there in our library. I think our last one was News 40. We also got our Flash movie review out there, so go ahead and check that sucker out. And if you want to stay up to date on the social, check out the Instagram at Heroes in the Moment.
Alrighty, and we just want to thank y'all for listening. And as always, we love you 3000.